Hello everyone, how you doing? My name is Denzel. I hope you're enjoying my YouTube channel. If you're here for the first time, welcome. In this video, we are going to talk a little bit more on lines of credit and really what's the best line of credit for me, right? Because everyone's different, everyone's unique, everyone has their own needs and wants, desires, right? So how do we pick the right line of credit? In my previous video, we were going over what is a line of credit, how does it work, what are the requirements, what's the criteria to actually meet a line of credit, to make it a line of credit, right? So in this video, we're gonna try and solve for what is the best line of credit for me. And the way I solve for that is always math, right, and convenience. Okay, I like to solve it because if I have, for example, if I've got a mortgage debt, if I got a car loan debt, or a personal loan debt, then I'm gonna wanna look more towards lines of credit, not credit cards. I want a personal line of credit, unsecured, revolving, interest is calculated simple with a low interest rate, right? That word revolving basically means that the money is accessible anytime, right? So if I have, for example, if I have a line of credit for $10,000, if I withdraw $5 grand and I pay it back, if I pay back only $2,000, I can still use that same $2,000 again. Unlike a personal loan, right, or car note, mortgage, right? Once you make a payment on an amortized loan, for example, right, for the same example, 10 grand personal loan, right? They give you the whole 10,000, right? But as you're making payments back, right? Let's say you pay back $5 grand, you can't use that $5 grand until the whole 10 is paid off, right? So that wouldn't be a good debt weapon to use, a good vehicle for velocity banking, for, you know, lines of credit. It doesn't meet the criteria, okay? So if I'm, like I said, if I've got a car loan, if I've got a mortgage, if I have personal loan debt, student loan debt, I'm going to want to look towards personal lines of credit, unsecured, interest is calculated simple, it's revolving with a low interest rate. Cool. Now, for people who don't have a lot of debt, right? They don't have a lot of debt, maybe their only debt is like a hospital bill or something like that, or who knows, maybe they just have a lot of bills, right? Maybe you're just someone that has a lot of bills but no debt. Okay, there's people like that too out there. Credit card might be a better way for you to go. Why? Because maybe most of your expenses, right, are, for example, they're expenses that you can pay with credit, right? Meaning you don't actually need cash. Like, to pay your rent, you need to pay it with cash, right? Or from a debit card, right? Not a credit card, okay? To pay your mortgage, cash. To pay your car note, it's cash, right? But what if you're someone that's young, right? And maybe you're in college, you're in high school, your expenses may only be car insurance, gas, food, a phone bill, miscellaneous, right? All that you can pay with credit, and that could be a good vehicle. Credit card could be a good debt weapon to start building credit in your name to get you to this, right? Because here's the thing, if you don't have any debt and you pull from a line of credit understand that there's an interest charge on that. So you wouldn't want that, because now you're just taking money and you're paying for that money that you're, withdrawing, that you're borrowing. Unlike with credit cards, bank gives you the money and they give you 30 days before they calculate any interest, right? And that goes into the whole, the whole method of velocity banking, how we're using credit to pay the expenses, using our income over here to pay ourselves back, right? And that just, it keeps going, okay? So yeah, there's some other unique features that make credit cards sometimes better than a line of credit, okay? What is that? Well, as your credit gets better, right, as your credit starts improving, okay, there's a lot of things that you can do with a credit card. For example, Bank of America has a credit card, the blue one, travel, right, the travel card. True story, when I first got my Bank of America travel rewards card, they gave me an initial credit line of $3,000 unsecured credit card, right? It came with a promotion, right, which said spend $1,000 or more in 90 days, right, and we'll give you $200 back in statement credit, right? Lines of credit can't do that, right? Personal lines of credit, they don't do that. It's just a nice chunk of money with these that you get. Those are cool. That's about it. Credit cards sometimes can function like a line of credit, and I'll explain how. So, back to this. We got $3,000 initial. They're telling me I can spend $1,000, I'll get $200 back. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna use my expenses. I'm gonna run it on the $3,000, right? I can easily spend $1,000 just off my expenses: gas, food, phone bill, insurance, subscriptions, miscellaneous, going out, right? All that. Boom, equals $1,000. They give me $200 back, so I made $200 using my expenses, using my credit to pay my expenses. I made $200, right? So technically, out of my cash, my income, I only really spent $8, right? And I got $2 back. Not bad. Now, after this promotion was over, they gave me another one, right? So by this time, my credit line increased to $5,000, and the promotion on this one, the next one, was, hey Denzel, we'd like to offer you 12 months, right, at 0 interest, and you can make a cash deposit, a cash withdrawal for the whole amount if you want, and we'll charge you 0 interest to do that. All you would pay is a 3% one-time 3% fee to do that. Okay, so here would be an example of why this would be better than getting a line of credit, right? Let's say you have a line of credit here for $5,000, okay, and the interest rate is 10%. Okay, if you have another debt, right, another credit card debt that you're paying 20% interest on, or 25, or you've got a few payments left on a personal loan, whatever it is, if you were to do the math, right? If I took 5K from here to make a chunk payment doing velocity banking on another debt, right? Maybe sometimes what can happen is the amount of interest that you'll pay to do that might not be as effective as 0% using a credit card. So, oh man, there's a lot of information, man. This is a lot, okay? But what I'm basically trying to say is that when you're trying to find out what is the best line of credit for me, it's good that you know your options, right? It's good that you know what's available and what's out there, right? So in this particular situation, for me, this is a true story, right? Where I had another debt, right? And instead of pulling from my line of credit from the Bright Star, right? I did the math. I was like, okay, 3% of $4,500, because that's what I withdrew. 3% of $4,500, I think it was like a little over $150. I think it was like $145. Yeah, you can do the math. My math is terrible. But that's very, very cheap for a $4,500 chunk at another debt. So I took that $4,500 out of here at 0% for 12 months. I paid $3, which was like less than $150, right? And I saved over $1,000 on interest. Guess what? I just made money. That's cash flow. That's savings. Using my own income. Am I getting somewhere? I think so. Okay? Whereas other people might just say, go get yourself a line of credit. Right? You don't know what you don't know till you know. You know what I'm saying? So, it's good to know. Good information, right? Very, very effective. I just wanted to explain a little more on credit cards, because in my previous video, I really didn't do too much. I was kind of focusing on the line of credit, but there are times where this will meet the criteria because the interest is calculated simple. It is revolving, right? It's accessible, and the interest rate is 0 or really low, right? So I'll leave you with that. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, tune in. Videos coming every day.